Men are just attractive, or like
You got someone else pregnant. What's the youngest you date?
sexual partner was a freak.
Hit you up on 10 blind dates.
Or they are married, or they're in serious relationships.
That's what's been happening. I wanted too much.
Worst breakup of my entire life.
What
What do you feel about situationships?
How bratty men can be.
You're getting me in trouble with my girlfriend. Your second wife.
Men are actually so creative with their lives.
Never give your relationship a break. I stays having fuck you money, okay? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my friend here, Nandi. You guys might have seen her on my weekly vlog that I uploaded a couple days ago. So we're about to get ready to go to drinks, and we were just thinking like, okay, let's just have like a little girl chat, you know, like a little get ready with me / girl
Chit chat.
Yeah, like, you know, conversations that you have with your friend and stuff like that. And we're actually like, okay, let's just do one for YouTube, like boy problems,
family, friendships, growing up.
made us a little drinky drink. Do a little cheers.
Cheers.
Not us having drinks when we're supposed to be on a whole. We promised each other like last month. We were like, friends, we need to be high vibrational. Like,
Starting from the first, we literally gave ourselves, we like, on the 1st of June, I even downloaded that I'm Sober app to count you down. Like,
we were like, Jay, you know what? We're going on an alcohol break.
you know, sometimes adulting comes at you hard.
I swear.
And you need a percent.
I swear. I think what sparked the conversation that I wanted to have was that, like, on the weekend we were just like talking, you know, like when you have random just chit chat about guys with your friend. And then, like, as we're having this conversation, because it was happening in like real time, I was like, why don't we just like have this conversation like over like a YouTube video? And I don't know why my ideas always come to me like at night. But then I was just like, actually, like, why not talk about the problems you have? Maybe somebody else is having the same problems.
And the minute you share it with even just one person, they're
Yeah.
like, girl.
Yeah. How do we start off the conversation? Okay, so, you know when like guys are just unnecessarily mean, you know? What?
Sorry. Sorry. Guys can be very mean, but I want us to zoom into like guys with a bit of coins, like guys that feel like I can, you know, ask them again, you know. Yeah. Oh my god, they can be so
those are the worst guys. I think also it's so important to understand. I think with dating, I realize how important your age is because of the experience that you have, and being young, like dating young and dating rich guys when you're young, exposes you to a lot of situations where you actually realize, you realize now as you're older that you didn't have the backbone for these type of situations back then, you know?
It's almost childlike how bratty men can be. If they don't get treated a certain way, or if you don't give them a certain thing, like they literally turn into babies.
Yeah.
Like, to refer back to Linda's show, when the older you get, the not easier dating becomes, but the more assertive you are, like,
and you're just able to say like, I'm not going to deal with this, and that's it.
Exactly.
When you're younger, you sort of get gaslit into feeling like maybe this is just how things go, maybe, you know, this is how relationships go for like guys with a little bit more coin.
And at the time, let's say for example you're in holiday, like a guy offers to take you to I don't know where, like if he says, no, we're doing this my way and we're not, as a 21-year-old also Tim,
you
don't have money, you don't have resources, which is why it is important as a woman to have fuck you money.
Yep. I love that. Why have you ever said that to me?
You know, mama,
I stays having fuck you money, okay?
One thing and two things about you need to have some fuck you money.
I swear.
Silly example, like you want to order something, it's like, no, I drink whiskey, I don't drink. But I don't want
such
whiskey.
a turn off.
I want what I want. Fuck you money is, I'm gonna order what I want with or without you. Do you know what I mean?
Period.
I even feel like it's not even like a diss, or it's not even a bad thing. Men are just not good people. I think it's even like a psychological or biological thing that men have significantly lower EQs than women. So
what's an EQ?
It's like IQ, but for your emotions.
Hectic. Okay.
I just forgot what the acronym stands for, but yeah, like men aren't as in tune with their emotions as we are.
Yeah.
So there's obviously going to be an imbalance when a man and a woman date.
Yeah.
We have different expectations and how we want to be treated.
Yeah.
For men are more logical thinkers.
You ever feel like, okay, after like your first breakup, like my first heartbreak, I was like, okay, I genuinely felt like there will never be a guy that can hurt me this much. Like I was like dead as sure, like let's like there's no way, like there's no guy that is going to hurt me as much as my first breakup was. The second one,
it said
almost I almost died. But shame for being 29 and having only been heartbroken twice. I think that's not so bad. I've only had 2 like very deep relationships, but also I'm not like a flingish relationship type of person, so I don't have like short relationships, you know. It takes me a while to develop like that deep love for somebody, for the things that they do to affect me. So it's like, yeah, about these guys like that you date in between or whatever, like I can't even say like that their actions like hurt me. When a guy does it, I'm honestly just like whatever. Like
there's even this thing I always say to my friends, like if you're a heterosexual woman, if you're a woman that date men, you just need to be pre-embarrassed. So embarrassed. But no matter how good you think it'd be, just be pre-embarrassed. Like
okay, what was like your worst heartbreak?
Sure. Yo, I hope this gent doesn't, or his friends don't watch this. I've also only had sort of 2 heartbreaks.
Yeah.
But the worst one was in 2020 with this guy, and we had been dating for like almost 3 years. We lived together. Our breakup was it wasn't like monumental. You know how a breakup is like a fight and it's a back and forth. And first of all, it was a long time coming. We weren't really compatible. And I think what hurt the most is just getting out of the routine. You know when you stay with someone, like you guys do stuff together.
Yeah.
And then just the first morning is like, And I think also it broke my heart because as much as I initiated the breakup, like he didn't fight for me. Like I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like it didn't mean anything to you.
Yeah. Which breakup is this? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about.
No, that was one of those middle ones that just didn't count for anything.
Oh.
Yeah. Why I feel like we weren't compatible is that we just spoke different love languages.
Yeah.
And it seemed like neither was willing to meet. They were just unfulfilled, needs in the relationship. That's why I'm always like I was very specific. Understanding how a guy likes to be loved and him knowing exactly how I want to be loved, because we frustrated each other so much. It seemed like I wanted too much from him than he could give me. Probably felt the same about me. After that breakup, I lost 10 kgs in a month. And I was crying every single day. 3 days would pass, embarrassing, but it'd be like that sometimes. Once the month was over, I was like, I'm ready. And I think that's the best thing about being a woman. You'll tell me if you agree, like you will mourn a relationship.
You will like almost
die. But the minute you get over it, you genuinely feel like.
But it's also like you have to, you almost have to be like a parent to yourself and be like, it's enough now.
Yes, like, you do have to stop yourself.
Because you can actually go into just like a whirlwind of
wallowing in self-pity.
I'll never find love, like I used to do that a lot. I went through a heartbreak to the point where like
Which one was it? Oh, the one.
It was,
the main one.
Like let me tell you about my first heartbreak. I feel like was more like varsity vibes, like okay. When I look at that breakup, it was a very hard breakup for me because it was somebody that I dated from high school all the way to varsity.
I liked him. He was like such a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
I think you outgrew him. I think that's what happened.
I don't even feel like I outgrew him. I think I only outgrew him because we went through spaces of like breakups. And also that is one thing I always tell my friends, I tell everyone actually, is that never give your relationship a break. Like, if you feel like you still want to be with somebody, the worst thing you can do is go on a break in your relationship, because you guys come back, like you guys come back completely different people. You don't know each other. It's like you're coming back to a stranger, you know, and now this person has changed the way they do things, their routine, and now you feel like a stranger in this person's life. When I went through my second breakup, I realized that one was like we were playing games. My actual worst breakup of my entire life, okay? Hey God. Like, I'm still trolls about that breakup, like, because I don't think I'll ever allow myself to be that broken by a situation. I was dating this guy, right? I had just moved to Joburg when we started dating. We were both very young, you know, like we were the same age. But he lied about his age when I met him.
What's
but I
older?
could tell, but I was like, okay, you know. And you know, a guy, like, you know when you can tell somebody's lying, and then you ask them the same question like another day, and then they're like, what did I say? But I didn't care, because by the time that I realized that he was lying about his age, we were really like super invested. So we dated for like a good year and a half, like no problems, I would say. You know, when you're both broke and it's just love. Love is keeping the relationship, you know. My business was still very tiny. In fact, it was like non-existent at that time. So he was also still like, you know, it is hustling stage. But we were very in love.
So
like,
in love. Like,
yeah, we were
you
very,
guys
very
would like
in love.
Would be so happy just like like and just
seeing each other.
Watch TV, like you guys are just so you guys are so each other.
We were. And after a year and a half, I think that's when the problem started. In fact, I think money was where the problem started. Because I know you can say like, there's no guy that doesn't cheat. That guy did not cheat. In the first year and a half of our relationship, I can swear for him down. He did not cheat. Once there was like money rolling in my opinion, that's when the problem started. This one day, he comes, he's like, give me your phone, let's go through each other's phones. Let's swap phones.
Why? And it's just so convenient how we're gonna go through each other's phones. You initiated. So you had time to prepare.
But you know me, like I'm not even trying to act all holier than thou. Like, I don't find the need to cheat. I also don't know how to love more than one person at the same time. But if it's like situation where it's fuzzy, Nami, I'm fuzzy. Then yes, we together real bad. Clearly, Pella, I guess he felt like he's deleted anything that you could possibly find on his phone.
Which one must I use for done here?
Use a bit of this. Yeah, and I found out that yes,
after he initiated.
Not me. I'm like, excuse me, like he's literally like planning a hookup with some girl on his phone, on his Instagram DMs.
Did he just think he wouldn't go that far down? Or
I think he forgot.
Oh, it's just the one he forgot, like it's
there's a concealer brush, you know, because it happened a while back. So he had gone home for Christmas or whatever, and I'd gone home as well. So when we both came back to Joburg, whatever, fine. And it shows that the messages were from that time. Busy like talking to the girl like, oh, can you come? I'm staying at this hotel. And the girl is like, wow. Then she gave him his number. Then communication stops. Communication stops after the number. So he's like, no, he never met up with the girl. The girl was his friend. His friend was asking out the girl via his DM.
Oh, wow.
And his friend was actually a guy who's now like a very popular musician. But I ain't gonna say who it is. So he was like, his friend who's an artist, was asking out the girl and didn't want to use his accounts.
Men are actually so creative with their lives.
The sad part is that I believe it. That's the pathetic part. Like, yeah, because no ways, you know? Like, my man would never do me like that. Something sent me over the wall. And this was the day before Valentine's Day.
Timing.
I packed up my shit, of course, and I went home. And at this point, me and him like literally almost lived together in Joburg, because now we were really close to each other and stuff like that. So we just ended up by default living together. I still had my place, but I would never go there, you know. And now I'm even annoyed that I'm having to be at my place. Like, you know, when you haven't been to your house in months and now you hear everything is all over the place, you lonely, you sad, was I not crying? I cried that whole night because it was like, that was like my soulmate. Like, to find out like somebody who you share everything with like deceived you like that. Like, it was more like a trust issue for me, like how, dude, this because
like it's just like, you know, when you're so sure, someone can be like, I literally saw him, he was wearing this red t-shirt and you know that outfit, but you're like, no, it wasn't him.
I don't think so.
He wasn't.
Yeah, so it took us, and also another thing is that I hold grudges, so it took us a very long time for us to get through that. He's like, okay, like when we're trying to fix our relationship, he's like, let's go to Cape Town, let's try and like fix things. Cape Town was a trauma. Cape Town was a trigger for me. Cape Town was a trigger for me for a very long time. In fact, the only time I could fix myself to have a good time in Cape Town again was the year before I moved here. Every time I'd come here, like, I'd actually get anxious. Like, you know, when I said, I carry things, like, that breakup, I carried it, you know? So, coming to Cape Town to fix things. Okay, we chill, whatever. Then we go to lunch, and he's showing me something on his phone, his damn phone. And then some message comes up like, babe, or something like that. And I'm like, who's that? And he's like, I don't know. Get to go into the phone, go into the message.
Open.
And he goes and he's like, who's this? Hey, who's this? And the girl's like, your second wife.
How? Oh, at least he knew what's caution you.
Love yourself. And that disgusted me more, actually. That disgusted me more. One, you tell your little girlfriends, and then they discuss and they about who. You're my second wife. Obviously, he's like denying it. He's like, no, I don't know this girl, But the fact that she said second wife, I knew that she knows, and he knows who that is. And then he starts like attacking the girl. He launches like a full attack on the girl, like, because he's now like, fuck, like, I'm trying to fix things with my girlfriend, like, why are you calling me on this trip, you know? I think Pelu Gail, because we had fought so much, she actually thought maybe it was okay, this is her
time to shine.
Yeah, you know. So then when she saw us on the trip, she was probably like, how, what the fuck, you know?
This is not what you promised.
Yeah. So he then calls the girl like, don't call my phone, you're getting me in trouble with my girlfriend. Yeah, you know, and hangs up. Okay, now I'm like, no, not you. I was like, honestly, the way like he got so angry, you know. I was like, there's no way. He was dating this. He's like, stop calling my phone, don't fucking call my phone. We outside V&A, the aquarium, that time. So then he does this whole performance for me, you know, outside the aquarium, and I'm like, wow, like, no, or my man, like, probably these girls were thinking he's off the market, you know, and he's not. It's fine. We end up going back to the hotel, we chilling. A friend of his comes over because they were like planning something for work. So a friend of his comes over who lives in Cape Town, and they start working. So I get bored and I'm like on my phone. Shame, he never should have allowed his friend to come over, because I think I would have never gotten the time to even go through my DMs. This thing of like Instagram request messages had just started, you know. And I see how I have a message request. I go in, message, hi Sneh, I just want to tell you that insert name is lying to you. We are dating and da 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 da. However, I started shaking.
How?
I lost my mind for a little bit, because one, it was so scary to me that he did that whole performance and he was lying.
Like psychopath behavior.
Dude.
Like
he wanted to crack his phone. That's how angry he was. And also, it's a person who has that type of nature. He was such a sweetheart. Like, so it was like, I was more mortified at the fact that he was lying. And then obviously, like, the girl was telling me, oh, they had sex and whatever. So naturally you're gonna ask, because it's you're straight talk, or you're gonna ask like, did you guys use a condom? Like, and she's like, no, we didn't. Oh, no cap, I lost my mind for a bit because it was like probably 11 p.m. I stood up and I took a walk. I don't know anything. I took a walk.
Did you not ask where you're going?
I mean, his friends were there also. He can't yeah, he can see something is off, but he just couldn't. He didn't want to bring attention to it in front of his friends. Gabanda is cold, and I just sat. You're about Camps Bay Beach. There's these rocks there by the beach. I just sat there, and I just cried.
Did you respond to the girl's message? Like,
I was trying to understand. Yeah, like I definitely was responding to it. Looking back at it, I regretted it, you know, because I was like, I shouldn't have even given her my time, but I did. Like, I was responding because I genuinely wanted to know who's his cat, you know. So I'd be like, where was I? What? The girl would even tell him. Right now, he told me that you guys are not having sex because of what he did. That of which was true. He even knew that like I had him on like a dry spell because obviously
he's in the dog box.
Because he was in the dog box. So she even knew that, and that's when I knew who's like
I think that's also another thing that must have annoyed you more is that okay, fine, you're cheating. A, you're not using protection. C, your little girlfriend knows the details
of our relationship. Like, I got back into the hotel room and I don't remember like what happened. I just went to bed, like I was just crying, and obviously we had like an exchange of words, and he was just like, I know you're never gonna forgive me for this. And he was right. One thing about him, he knew me because I even asked Ma to send me money to book my flight back to Joburg. And I think she was like, damn, like I've never asked her for anything. So that was like crazy for her. So she just did it. Like she didn't even ask me any questions. I went back to Joburg, and for the next like 5 months, I literally, like, I was a shadow of myself. That was the deepest heartbreak I have ever been through. Especially, you know, like when you and the guys' lives are like super intertwined, like you guys do everything together, like you plan work together, you guys have planned for the future together. Like you do everything, you even take showers together, like not even in a lovey-dovey way, but it's now just like your routine. Like, so we had to fix the lighting because it's getting dark outside. The sun is setting, so I just wanted to get a light. But yeah, like okay, like I know couldn't go, guys. I get go away relationship, but lo go almost died. On top of just like Joburg being the toxic place that it was, the relationship just ended very, very badly.
Was there a back and forth, or was it just like you broke up?
There was a little bit, but I was so angry that like I just couldn't reason. But then obviously when you calm down, like a couple of, I think a month later when I'd calmed down, he had stopped begging. I was angry at that. I
mean, of course I wasn't entertaining you, but why did you stop?
Yeah guys, that relationship drained me. Like
But do you feel like in the dating talking stage phases, like what's the closest that has been, not to that heartbreak, but it was just like, you know, I was actually rooting for you? Like
since then there honestly hasn't been, obviously aside from the situation I'm in now. I think I also prayed, remember we were talking about the fact that I prayed for that, for God to just help me heal and start from scratch. I think after that situation, every person that I met after then, it was like neither here nor there. I can't say any of them made me feel anything, because even anything a guy would do, like I'm like, oh okay, cool.
Being a certified lover girl is an issue because like, I can't casually date. Either we are head over heels in love with each other, or we are still getting to know each other, and if it doesn't work, it does not work. So I mean, my first relationship was 5, almost 6 years, and then I dated this guy for 3 years, and then, you know, and then I was dating someone who I thought, you know, it wasn't as meaningful as like the previous ones, but we really got along. I think friendship being the foundation of a relationship is a setup, because when you guys break up, you lose a friend and you lose a partner. Like he got someone else pregnant. Well,
that guy.
What upset me the most is that the foundation of our relationship was just transparency. Like I'd rather know than have to find out. Well, I mean, I guess I knew because he told me. And got Goa for like 2 days and then I was done.
2 days of pay, lah?
Only 2 days because I think after the first 2 heartbreaks, I was like, it's just a fear of sinking back, going back into the sunken pit. Didn't let myself. Because once you go back down that hole, it's so hard to drag
get yourself out.
Literally, he told me that on the Thursday, later that Thursday or the following day, I just flew to Joburg, partied with my friends. I was so mortal, so drunk. And that was just my coping mechanism. No guy is worth, because when you go through heartbreak, it just affects your whole life. Like,
definitely,
you can't even focus on school, you can't focus on work. Like, this thing will be at the center of your mind, and that is all you can focus.
And I think that's what stops me from, like, when I feel like I'm starting to feel like, when I feel like I'm starting to have like genuine emotions for a guy, I regulate myself. I self-regulate because I know that when I'm in love, I'm harmful to myself. I will not work. I will not, like, because my brain can't focus like anymore. I do like regulate because of that. Like, not only because I'm scared of heartbreak, but because I can't afford to be heartbroken. Financially, I can't afford to be heartbroken because there are things that rely on me monthly that will not allow me to stay in bed all day and sleep and cry all day. I'm old. I'm an adult.
You're a young woman of 28.
I'm a young woman of 28 and
have responsibilities.
I have responsibilities.
Break is actually very time consuming.
Just place it on your eye. What do you feel about situationships?
Casual sex is not worth the emotional repercussions.
Right?
Especially for women. Like, men have more to gain than women do.
Yes, some people be like, okay, Jay, I just wanted to have sex and be done. Like, that's not true. Oh, you've conditioned yourself. I just don't believe there's a woman who can just have sex and go on with their life like nothing happened.
I feel like it's biologically impossible, because when you are intimate with someone, like, you exchange you exchange like bodily fluids, obviously, but like you release oxytocin. I hope I'm saying that right, and that's like a happy hormone. It actually feels like a drug, so you feel emotionally and physically connected to this person. So if you're saying I was in a situation,
sexual vibes,
vibing,
and exactly living in Joburg bullied us a lot into feeling like certain situations are not that deep and make you feel like, oh, gee, we're adults or whatever. Like, now you start to feel like, maybe I'm just thinking too deep into situations or whatever. But I realized when I started to like become like older that there's no such thing as we both adults. Like, if something feels wrong to you, it feels wrong to you, you know, and you should listen to that, because you doing something that doesn't feel right to you, you will suffer the consequences of that. Like, I would hang out with a guy knowing very well I'm not that interested in him, you know, and then feel obligated to make out with him or whatever it is, you know. Like, I've never felt obligated to have sex, but I have felt obligated to entertain a guy more than I would like to, just because I felt like I don't want him to think I'm childish. Like, nothing.
It's just like, am I being like a prude? Am I boring? Like, don't be a cool girl. Like, cool girls just don't be a cool girl, because it's like, maybe I'm just not cool enough. No, you're not cool.
And it's okay.
I feel like being a cool girl, you compromise your own standards at the expense of yourself, but at the benefits of the guy. Speaking of this, do you feel like you can learn to love someone? Because like sometimes you'd be hanging with a guy and it's like, oh, he's not that bad, maybe I can learn to love him. Because
do you know what, I do think that, but under certain circumstances, like, he needs to have some good attributes. Like, okay, he's not physically what I like, and like, I'm so specific with my type. Like, I literally copy paste.
You are so specific. I feel like I could set you up on 10 blind dates. Her type is I won't describe it, but her type is so specific, like so specific.
It's everyone that I know, like I love saying everyone that I know.
You don't know
but
that
like,
many people.
what's a non-negotiable for you with a guy? Just physically, what's like a non-negotiable for you?
I don't want to say I have a non-negotiable but there's things that I am drawn, like, okay.
Just say
Let me
one
stop being diplomatic. Like,
I
love good-looking men. Personally, for me,
like a clean guy.
Who takes care of his skin, who grooms his, nails and does. For me, okay, a non-negotiable is a man that does not take care of himself. Like dirt underneath. Oh, a non-negotiable are bad sneakers. Like.
Can I tell you what I feel like is a non-negotiable for you?
What?
A chubby guy. Because you have never in your life.
Maybe I'm just not just attracted to that type of person.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's not even about that.
Yeah, like.
My non-negotiable for a guy is dark skin.
And bad teeth.
Yes, oh my god.
You hate bad teeth.
Bad teeth, dark skin, and no beard. But I've dated a guy without a beard, but I made him grow his beard.
Yes.
I make them all grow their beards. Oh, me acting like a chick. Have them lined up.
All of these bitches is my sons. Grow.
Any guy that like I have dated, I always just ask them to grow their beard, and they do it. So
and they always look much better after you.
Yeah.
What's a green flag for you in a guy? What are like just things that you like? I can see you are getting the rose. Like
a guy that is like not afraid to show me like how much he wants me. Don't be a cool guy. Like don't be a oh yeah you'll let me know when you're free because I'm not gonna let you know when I'm free. Be a guy like okay. This week, which day can we go? I'm
gonna come fetch you, we're gonna go.
And and I know that guys do it because they feel like they don't want to be too keen. But men, like a tip for you, like take initiative. Dating culture now is like, oh Jay, let's just chill, especially Cape Town dating culture. Do you know what? Before I moved to Cape Town, I felt like Cape Town was gonna be high vibrational dating,
like the because it's basically Europe in South Africa.
Yes,
so you have access to different kinds of guys.
Literally felt like okay, I'm gonna get married in 6 months. Gonna have a baby in a year. I was like so sure that this city was going to have my husband inside. Cape Town, Cape Town,
Do you think like you went out enough when you were a fully outside girl?
Chumi, it wasn't even about going out or the men. The men in this city. Like I felt like Joburg dating scene, dating pool was underground. The dating pool here is saddening to see. The girls are squabbling for the same ain't shit niggas. I realized quickly not to waste my time trying to date in the city. Like that is why like I'm not anywhere. Single guys in the city, yeah, they leave much to be desired, or they are married, or they're in serious relationships. And some girls are like, oh yeah, whatever, he's married, whatever. But for me, that's a non-negotiable, especially because right now I'm not looking for let's hang out vibes. And if you know a guy's in a relationship, hang out or like hang out for what? He's already told you, oh yeah, I want to hang out, but I have a girlfriend. And you went, oh yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah, but I'll do it.
Yeah, like I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, girl, because that's exactly how he's gonna treat you from there on out. South African guys are very spoiled for choice. They are. So
they have hella options. Like.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your take on sending nudes?
Send a nude.
One thing about her, she will send a nude. Okay, like I used to be like so like clutches pearls about nude. Now okay, I'll send my man a nude now. But like before, guys, like before, I even used to think a blowjob was disgusting.
Quack 3000. Yo guys, my mom watches YouTube. Hey. I think my general rule of thumb when it comes to intimacy is there are no rules. That nothing is out of bounds because
I think okay, the only reason why Nandi's like that is because her first sexual partner was a freak. Like her first serious relationship, like I used to literally gag at the stories.
Women enjoying sex and enjoying their naked bodies is just so frowned upon. It sort of seems like a taboo, like, oh my god, like. But
I also realize that with women, like when you're super freaky, like in bed, like, okay, I hope dad doesn't get mad at me, but my sister's like, she's a freak. And I know that like she will sometimes like dumb her freak down, like make it a bit less, like turn it down a bit for guys, just because she doesn't want it to seem like, oh Jay, where did you learn all this? Yeah, like
it's giving Zulu man.
So I know that she does do that, but when we are talking, just like girl talk, she'll be like, how am I, you know, like whenever the situation does avail itself, she will go full freak on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, sex is to be enjoyed.
But also, I feel like the reason why I don't even send nudes like that much is because I don't even feel like men deserve nudes. I don't know, like the batch of men we got, like
it's not the same batch that our parents got.
I swear, like, you don't even feel like you want to do anything sweet for the guy, because it's like, why? Like men, like before the relationship even starts, like the guy has already showed you his ass. I'm a very like naturally giving sweet person in relationships. Like my love language is gifts.
Yeah, you're very, even in friendships, you're a very generous friend. Okay, you just love to give. Yeah,
like, and that's how I express love. I think I honestly learned affection from you. That's just we lived together when we first moved to Joburg. Nandi moved first and I moved afterwards. So we lived together our broke days. We had them together. We were living in
Q.
It's down bad, close to Alex.
No, or Bramley.
Yes, Bramley. We were living in Bramley.
Guys.
You know, Nandi's like a super like hold your hand type of person. She'll like hold your hand or whatever. I think before, like in high school, because nobody lives together, you sort of like can allow your friend to touch you or whatever. But Nandi wants constant physical affection. Like she's like a girlfriend when you are a girl.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, okay, her hand must be on me all the time.
Like even if it's just a finger like this, even if it's just like this,
like you'll be like on your phone chilling, then you feel like a hand, like just touching you, and then it's like what? It's just like what?
Because what?
So I think I learned it from then, like, and then I also realized that it was a block in my relationships that my partner, my partner thinks that I don't love them because I'm not like physical. So I learned that it's okay. I still struggle with being like super physically affectionate with men, but I know that okay, I can compensate it with something else. Like I know that I can't, like I find it very difficult to like tell you in your face like you mean so much to me, I would die for you, even though I feel like that. So I would rather buy you a gift. Or maybe I'll write it in the text. I'll write it in a message in the gift.
Because even when you do give the gift, it's like, do you want some toothpaste? It's not like, oh my god, I got you something. Like gifting is an experience. Like be excited.
Oh, what were we talking about? Scam? This is figured out. That's why I don't like. It's very hard for a guy to experience me and like my full feminine energy because men be disappointing you like in the first 3 business days. Before, like a guy would like wait for you to catch feelings, fall in love, and then he get he's like,
it's so comfortable. So it's, let me show you how hot the block is.
Let me show you Jesus wearing bum shorts. But now it's like niggas is acting up now, you know. So it doesn't even give you a chance to like show guys like love, like show them like real love and show them like an experience, because they ruin it the second that the situation happens, you know. Men now like, oh, why didn't you call me first? Or like, why didn't like, oh, I was waiting for you, or wow, like
this batch of men are princesses.
Like,
they also want princess treatment. And not to say that men don't deserve princess treatment, but just the dynamics of relationships I think are very skewed in this generation, because, and I feel like we're also part to blame. Women do make it easier for men. Like women have made themselves more accessible. When my parents have been married for 29 years, have been dating for almost 32.
I love her parents so much.
They're so corny. They're still so in love. Like, and when my mom tells me the story of how they met, like, not that you use your time and affection and body as a bargaining chip, but genuinely you have to first see if a man is worth it before you invest your time.
And we get shamed about that. Like, women, I feel like all a man has to do is provide financially to a relationship. And a woman has to be your therapist. She has to be caring. She has to make you lunches, dinners.
She has to be a homemaker.
She has to be a homemaker. She has to have the children. She has to, like, men get their advice from women about work, about situations at home, about whatever. Like, they need your advice. A man's successfulness, in my opinion, is very different. A married man and a single man are very different.
Married men progress much faster.
Yes,
in business, in the workplace. So men, I definitely feel like men need women more than women need men.
We need them on an emotional, like, oh, I just need someone to love. But I feel like men need a woman.
On women for life.
Yeah.
Like, you know how there's even, I mean, we're derailing, but like how men, you will send a guy to the grocery store, babe, can you please get me baby potatoes from Woolworths? Which ones are baby potatoes?
Yeah. Every
single potato. Baby potato so even when you get there, like this person is probably like CFO of their company. So this is not a dumb man. You can't get to Woolworths and look at, there aren't even that many, it's 4 potatoes. Look at which one is the baby sha. Like,
and take the baby.
Men need women, like they rely on women for small day-to-day things. And it's not that they can't do it, but it's because that they know that there's a woman who's going to support them in that regard.
Yeah. And if you're a man and you're watching this, you're probably going to be like, oh please. But if you look at it from a non-egotistical angle, you will just see it for what it is. Also, women need men for certain particular things, and vice versa. You know,
we need each other. We need each other. But now the way society is set up, it's as though men feel like we need them more.
Yes, I think that's the worst thing about dating these days. Is like a guy doesn't even court.
Because if you don't do it, someone's gonna do it for less.
And
by doing it, like, bruh, I'm not going to leave my house to go for a coffee date. Like, there's coffee at home. Like, if I go outside, it must be worth my house. So if you don't leave your house for a coffee date, someone is going to leave their house to go drink Hennessy at someone else's
apartment.
So it's just,
that concept is also so crazy, because also I think it's come with age. Like, because before we would be those girls like, oh, he has drinks at his house, or let's go chill and drink, you know, and then you'll go and chill and drink. But now it's like, I have drinks at my house. Like,
I'm not gonna leave my house to go drink.
I guess it's also a part of affordability now. Like, it's like before we were broke and it made sense to go to a guy's house to drink and then take the drinks home with you. But
you can Uber Eats.
Like, those were things. Like, those were like marketing factors for a guy. Like, okay, he's gonna order Uber Eats, we're gonna drink for free. You know. That's why dating when you're young is just I wish there was a way that I could have known that, like, just don't date until you reach 26.
That's impossible now.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I went through so many experiences, unnecessary experiences. Like, again, like, being around guys I didn't have to be around. Being around men I didn't want to be around, just because of, like, feeling that pressure of, like, also being around guys who have more money automatically, unfortunately, in South Africa means being around guys who are older than you.
Unfortunately.
So by default, when we were growing up, like when we were in high school varsity, it was like they would be significantly older than you. So you would like, when you think about it now, even at my age now, at my big age now, I'm still like, ick. Like, why would I, not even, has nothing to do with being like sexual with a guy. It had nothing to do with sex, but it was like, it's even gross that old men enjoyed just having the presence of varsity girls, like men who I feel now at my age now are too old, It's like, what conversation could a guy like that have had with me back then? Like, it's a bit sick,
Speaking of which, what is your like perfect age gap in a relationship? What's the youngest you date and what's the oldest you date?
The youngest I would date would probably be at least be 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
So right now I'm 28.
So
at
32.
least be 32. Yeah, at least be 32. The cap would be, if I'm being honest, I don't have a cap.
You do. You
no,
hate old niggas.
True. No, Chomi, but I mean, like, there's some old niggas who like look cute, like
Diddy.
Yeah, like Trevor.
Yeah.
There's some old niggas who still
like men that take care of themselves, and they're like, they have their finger on the pulse when it just comes to pop culture. And
it's not like the gap is not super like, okay, he is older than me,
like not someone you're gonna send a meme and they're like,
okay, I have a question for you. Would you date a girl?
I would.
I would too, to be honest.
Do you want to date me?
No. Oh, sorry.
No.
No.
But why wouldn't you date me?
No, it should be hot. Like, but I would date a girl that looks like a guy. I think that's the only problem. That's my only problem with you. Like sometimes, like.
So do you think you're bisexual or like you're bi-curious?
No, I'm not bi-curious because I'm grossed at the thought of having sex with a girl. But I'm attracted to girls, which is so weird because like when I think about it, like in high school we used to be in an all-girls school, and I remember this one time my sister went and told my mom that I'm a lesbian, and I really wasn't.
Why would she do that to
Because you remember, like I had a phase of like.
You did have a phase. You were like tomboyish.
Yes, I was in a phase. And to think about it, the slides, the darker it gets outside, the brighter the slide gets. Show me cutting me closer. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't like old guys. I really don't. But if I can't tell that you're old, I guess it's not that bad. Yeah. And you? What's your?
My youngest I would date is like 36-ish. And because I really like, I think that's what I'm attracted to.
Tell me, wait.
I wouldn't say I like older guys per se, but I really love an alpha man, like a man that's in charge, a man that takes charge, a man that makes me feel like, gives me space to be feminine. I feel like guys my age won't give that to me. So youngest, like
again, I'm gonna use this brush because
wait.
you just need to trust yourself. Yeah, what the oldest, the youngest.
Let me start that again. So the youngest I date, and this is not like, I wouldn't date anyone younger than that, but generally in terms of like my dating history, the youngest I date is like 35, 36-ish. Simply because I love an alpha male, like I love a man that can take charge of situations.
But also as a man, like if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do.
You can tell me what to do.
But if you can't tell me what to
then
do,
you can't tell
then
me
you
what
can't
to
tell
do.
me what to do.
Yeah, so I feel like about 35, 36, and the oldest, I think, is like, as long as you're younger than 50.
50 is where I draw the line.
50 is where I draw the line. 50 is where I draw, because also like age gap, generational gap, that has proven to be like an issue in like previous, where the generational gap is just too much. We just, as much as we may have things in common, thank you, but there'll be like places where we butt heads because oh, and old guys have this thing of wanting to, I don't know how to put it, but mina ngangingekho in your youth, so I must live my youth also. So as an old guy, sometimes, you know, you're not supposed to,
and
sir,
like super
judgmental. You know, 38
period.
And I think, okay, this is like unrelated. How do you edit?
Don't worry.
Oh, okay. A lot of you guys have been asking.
What?
Like, yeah, but people have been asking, like, how do you know Snare? How you and Snare friends? Like, how did you meet?
Do they ask you that?
They do.
That's weird. Nobody's ever asked me. Because what is your business?
What is your... But people do, but just in case people were wondering how we know each other.
Yeah.
Snaresry.
Dead.
We've been friends since 2009, 10.
Yeah. Let me tell you how I knew Nandi was a fake friend. This one time.
The fuck?
No, but okay, joking. I'm joking. But let me tell you guys about how I actually knew Nandi is a really good friend. And I've never actually told you this, but her behavior has been consistent ever since. Like what I'm talking about is that there was an incident that happened in high school, and a friend that we mutually shared but didn't become friends together. Like I became friends with this person separately from her, and they became friends. And this person was closer actually to me than she was to Nandi.
How much is this? Okay, yeah.
So there was a situation that happened, and me and Nandi used to walk to the bus together every day.
Single day.
So for like 4 years, that's kind of crazy. For like 3 years. So we used to, that's our gisting time. Weirdly, at school, I don't even remember us hanging out at break.
We wouldn't.
We had different
separate friend groups during break
That's
time.
so crazy.
But
we had separate friend groups, but like if you pass each other, like how, oh yeah, you know, we'll have a little cheeky catch up. But our friend groups were different. There was a situation that happened with my friend, and I remember confiding in her about the situation. And I got a beach. Went on until obviously the situation came to my attention and I was told about it. And I remember being very upset with her, like, why didn't you tell me and stuff like that? Like, how could you have not told me, and something like that? Like, we share. It's a bit difficult because it's something that I respect about her, but it's something I also am very irritated with her about. It's like, because for me, like, I spill my guts to her, like, you know everything, like, which is bad, I guess, but like she knows everything, you know. But you know, so fast forward to a situation that happened maybe like 2 months ago, and when I found out about it, I knew that she knew about this thing, and I'm like, why didn't she tell me? And I felt like maybe I take our friendship too serious than what she takes it, or whatever it was, you know. And I was really upset about it, actually. I was very upset about it. But then, like, the next day I went to work and I was like by myself, and I was thinking about it the whole time, because for me, I was thinking, like, does Nandi not value our friendship the way that I value it, you know, or is it that I'm just taking the friendship too seriously, and maybe for you it's like just hang out vibes? But then I was actually like to myself, like, imagine if I was in the person's shoes and I had told her something
in confidence.
Yes, and then she went and told another one of her best friends, you know. So and then I related to that story to
almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, you know, I was like, it's the same situation. Like, and I asked her back then, like I was very confrontational, so I was like, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, it wasn't my place. And it was true. Like, I still remember what she said when I asked you about that situation when we were walking to the bus. Like, she was like, it was not my place to tell you. And that was true. So that's like one of the things like that I respect the most about you, is that like we gossip about friend things, like about, you know, very like outside things, very like mutual things, but you will never gossip about your friends or like your friends' problems or anything like that to me. You know, and I also feel like my things are safe with you because of that. Like, I don't feel like if you know anything happens, then when you're talking to your other friend, then you'll be like, hey, but listen, because I know that she doesn't do that with me. And you've known me longer than your friends that you have, you know, some of the friends that you have now. So yeah, I really like had to pull myself towards myself, because I was like really upset. I was like,
see, because I was here in Cape Town during the time. I was actually here. And I'm like, see, for Tsitsi, surely she's not mad at me for not giving me cheers. For not giving her my other friends like cheers. Like, it's not.
Also me being so greedy for tea.
It was like so tense.
At the end of the day, like for me, that was like, okay. And I'm so grateful that now, like being a mature person, you like, I'm able to have conversations with myself and like, okay, bring it down, like dissect the situation, like, you know, because before it would be like, Jay, fake friendly, you know, Jay, whatever, like fine, since we don't share secrets, then it's fine, you know. But it did like hurt me for like a couple of days. I was like, because we share a lot of time together. So, but anyways, like
even if we aren't physically together, we are always on the phone. You know? Like, we are always on the phone.
So, but yeah, those are one of your really, really good attributes, and I'll always appreciate you for that.
Sorry. Let me see what my favorite things about Sneh are. It's just how, like, you're a good friend, Savannah. Like, she's genuinely such a good friend and a good person just to everyone around her. Like, you are one of the most loyal people. Like, I know, like, and as much as you know how you say you're not like a very emotional or affectionate person, you are in your own way. Like, genuinely, you'll show it in like the weirdest ways. Like, I can't even think of anything from the top of my head right now, but you're just so loyal, and I just love that about you. And you've been the same actually since, like, the things that would annoy you back then are the same things that would annoy you now. But the only thing that's changed is your reaction towards it, and how committed you've been to just your growth as a person, like emotionally.
I think what made me realize that I needed to grow in terms of like my interactions, you remember, like I used to be very short-tempered and very
volatile,
like I realized that it was affecting the way people communicate with me. Like, everyone wants a relationship, friendship and relationship, where they're able to say like how to, but that really hurt my feelings, you know. And I realized that like with my friends, they couldn't tell me when something that I did was not cool, even though I can see it's okay, this person is not cool about something, but
they're not
more like not wanting to deal with the reaction of me being like, what do you mean, you know, like it would rather just be quiet. And those things build up in friendships, and I would see that like the friendship is slowly changing and being different. Jay. So it was something that I had to learn, like also to be like, I can't always be right in a situation. Yes, I think now, but also something unhealthy that I've learned is that
do you feel like you suppress?
Yes. I do. Now I've learned to suppress, because I feel like maybe the way that I react to something might be too aggressive for another person, and we're all different people. I've learned that my aggression is not the same as another person's aggression. You know, like I am just already a naturally intimidatingly looking person. So then if I do something, like if I show my upsetness about something, then it might come off too much to the other person than how I'm feeling. Like maybe something is just a little bit like to me, but then to the other person my reaction will come off like you know. So yeah, I did introspection and tried to change my interactions because I realized that it was affecting my friendships and my relationships, because I felt like a guy then becomes combative when I'm in my masculine energy. Like he feels like he has to prove his masculinity.
So it's like,
yeah, we like head to head. Yeah. So it was like, yeah, because guys will start off like really sweet and really nice. Then all of a sudden, like, you see him just morphing into like this weird, like, super fighty guy, you know? And I really didn't like that. So.
I don't even know how or when, because I can't think of when the transition happened. Because you know those friends that when you go to a place you have to warn people about. When you get to the place,
was I those people?
Yes. Oh, like. Like she's a bit, you know. I promise she's a good person, but she's a little, you know.
Oh my goodness,
yes,
that is so sad.
But and people will be like, oh, I don't know, I can't even think now who or what would say, but it's just like, yo, I don't know how you're friends with me, because she's so, like, because also our personalities,
I would get that part.
Our personalities contrast so much, but we've been close for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, I don't know how you be doing it, but genuinely, if you're from the outside, you would never, or if you did not know Snare from like back then, you wouldn't know the growth. And now you're genuinely like such a zen person.
Thanks.
Like you are such a zen, like you're more in your face, like you definitely have a masculine energy because of your hyper independence and all of that.
Unfortunately.
But just in terms of confronting situations and how you handle conflict and stuff, like you are way more less intimidating and more open to just conversation.
Thanks. Cause sometimes people be trying me, child, and I'm like, if you met me in my days, I used to hold grudges. But I was in my very combative thingy. I think also like a lot of, you know, like in high school we don't speak as much about things that are happening like at home or whatever. So I think things that were happening at home made me so aggressive, like so just not even aggressive but on guard about things that didn't even need me to be.
Like you felt like someone was always out to
get me, you know. Yeah. So anyways, once I moved out of home, I was able to adapt and regulate my feelings, thank God. But anyways, yeah. What else? What haven't we touched on? Have a shot.
It's shadow clock. Do you wanna pause this?
Why?
So I can go pee.
Okay, just pause it then. Wanting like a hug. And like also not even just a hug, but like to know there's just a male roaming around. You know? But it's like, you know, or big.
In the present.
Or BHG or roaming around. You know, casually with his stuffs on and his sweatpants, like nothing, you know?
I love that. Like, and that's intimacy is not just about like in the bedroom. It's just like watching TV together, like just doing stuff.
I love when I'm in a relationship, watching my man just live life. Like, I think the most attractive thing for me is like when I say, are you sitting comfortably?
Yeah, I am.
Is to see him socializing with his friends. I don't know why that turns me on so much. Like him laughing and talking to his friends. Like I'm like, babe.
Okay, baby.
Babe, so sexy, Claire. Let's go home. Or like when you guys like look at each other at group. Y'all already know.
The tension when you know once we get
home. Home time is home time. It's like seeing your guy like outside of just your
relationship like outside of Nibal too.
Yes.
Like even if Nibal for a date night, but it's like it's not a you and him date night. It's like we're all going out as a group.
Even if it's date night and he's like talking to the waiter, it's like Saktandi.
I love him so much.
I love him so much. Men are just attractive. Like men are sexy. Like men will do men will open the door. And he will open the door so sexily.
Like watching your man do mundane shit, like when he's driving or when your man is reverse parking. It's just
I just love seeing a guy's back.
Like how?
Like just like a very beautiful back.
Like naked back.
Yes. Like, you know how like when a guy like wakes up and gets out of bed.
Ooh, that
and then he's
walk
like
to
walking.
the bathroom.
And he doesn't even realize how sexy he is. Like he has no idea. Like, but his back and then like his staunch shoulders and guys have this very deep middle
like
part of their back.
Middle part.
The middle part of a guy's back is
and
so
then
sexy.
the cherry on top is if the guy has a nice ass.
No,
you know I love me an ass. I love an ass. Like a guy must have a nice ass.
Hey, I don't want to see a guy's bum in my life. Like,
what are you gonna do now, George?
If it were up to me, like, I don't want to see your bum whatsoever. Like, please don't show me your bum. I especially love when a guy is sexy without even trying. Like, you know, when a guy's like just super like masculine and he doesn't need to brush his beard and brush this and this in order for him to look hot. He's just hot,
it's an energy thing.
And like I love a guy who doesn't care about looking hot. Like he's clean, he takes care of himself, and that's it.
But it's not like a novelty to him.
Yes, like I need to brush my beard and put on a Vaseline on my lips or whatever. Like I love a guy who doesn't know how hot he is.
A hot nigga just being a hot nigga.
Like living his life. Love that so much.
It is ill.
Which fingers did you use actually?
You know, someone was like, that's how you know someone's age. Millennials, for hearts, you'll say.
I was gonna go like this.
Yes, like this. But Gen Zs go.
Gen Zs are the older ones or the younger ones?
Gen Zs are Umatsuke.
They go like this? Wow. Or
even when they take selfies, like, you know, Epiphania could be, for example, like a mirror selfie, they go, okay, am I doing this right? They go to show the hearts on the other side. That's guess. That's crazy. Also, that's kind of crazy that niggas call us older women. Like,
I swear.
I'm
like guys, like not even like gossiping, but part of the reasons why I was done with Cape Town niggas, I had this appointment this one time, and I went to this guy's house, very popular guy in Cape Town actually, but I didn't know until I got to the house, obviously. So I just got a booking, like a house call booking from a girl, and I go there, whatever. I get there, we start doing her work. Obviously the girl, like from conversation, I can tell it's giving 2K emoji. Very cute conversation, very cute, like childlike conversation. So I'm like, okay. Then her man walks into the house. So her man is significantly older, but fuck, I forgot his name now. I'll show you on Instagram. So this guy walks in. I'm like, oh shit, because I know this guy is probably in his 40s. And then now that I'm seeing the guy, okay, we have to wrap it up, the battery. Now that I'm seeing the guy, I'm like, how old are you, baby? And we're like, during conversation, she's like, because she's talking about her matric dance. I'm like, matric dance? She's like, yeah, I was in matric last year. This girl is 19. She's flued out at 19. Anyways, child. But yeah, that was our girl talk. We didn't even take our shots. This battery is gonna die immediately. So, but anyways, to me, thank you for joining me on my YouTube.
This is kind of rushy.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Cheers
guys. And cheers to us.
Cheers to us.
I love Jaeger.
That was too good.
That was too good.
Grateful for the gift of life and friendship and sisterhood, and I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Thank you guys.
Y'all see how quick that hug was? It was like, it was very.
Show me I hugged you, okay?
Very brief.
Thank you guys for watching this video. If you're at the end, let's hope it's not going to be too long. But yeah.